Hi, welcome to Poeting. I'm Nicole Carter, and today I'm interviewing Hannah Nicholson. Hi, Hannah.
Hello, Nicole.
How are you?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, we just had a whole chat beforehand, but I'm sticking to
Yeah,
the
she do.
script as usual. Um,
Yeah.
So, right, okay, let's just get into it. So, tell us a wee bit about yourself, please, Hannah.
So I am originally from the village of Bray in Shetland, but I've lived in Aberdeen for just over 9 years. I moved down here to do a master's in creative writing at the University of Aberdeen and graduated with distinction in 2017. Before that, I did actually live in Glasgow for a few years. I did my undergrad at Strathclyde Uni. I did journalism, English with journalism and creative writing, and graduated in 2010. But I've remained in Aberdeen. Like I did the library masters the year after my creative writing masters, and I've been here ever since. I work part time in the Aberdeen University Library. Actually, I really enjoy it, and I am also a former winner of the Scottish Book Trust New Writers Award. I was one of the 2021 cohort. I've had work published, and not just poetry but prose as well. I've had Gutter, Northwards Now, Causeway, it's Aberdeen Uni's literary mag. Where else? I've had a few of them. Silk and Smoke, Poetry Scotland. I've recently had another kind of a short work published in Fierce Salvage, which was an anthology by 404 Inc., which was kind of comprised of work by queer Scottish writers. And yeah, I've just, yeah, just a kind of I write prose and poetry. I've also been co-hosting Speaking Weird here in Aberdeen for the last kind of year or so. It was founded by Orla Shortall, and it's a spoken word night that happens usually on the well, was the second Wednesday of the month, and is now the second Monday. Unfortunately, as of the end of last month, we are now homeless following the closure of the Blue Lamp. So we're looking for a new venue and slightly on a temporary hiatus while we sort that out. But yeah, I've been doing that for a while, and that's been good fun to do because we get to meet all these new poets in Aberdeen, and we get to have a headliner every month. And sometimes it's a local person, sometimes it's somebody who's quite far out. But it's just always good to kind of meet different folk and hear
Mhm.
different writing. And
Mhm.
yeah, I've really enjoyed that. It's probably one of the biggest achievements I've had in terms of poetry. So
Brilliant. Cool. Right, okay. We'll hear more about that in a wee while. So, right, could you read us a couple of your poems, please?
okay, I've got. So I've got one here called Newer Day, which is the Shetland term for New Year's Day. Although it's actually Old Christmas in Shetland. I think that's either today or yesterday. So some parts of Shetland celebrate Christmas on like the 6th of January and then New Year on the 13th. So I guess it's kind of technically still the festive period. So I can get away with reading. We're only what 6 days into the New Year, so we can get away with this. But
Yeah.
yeah, I wrote this a couple of years ago. It's just about kind of New Year's Day and all the kind of freshness. Oh, like, kind of all the opportunities it provides. So I'll read that to you.
Thanks.
Okay. So here we are on the first day of another year, while we think back for a peery minute about what's by we, before we look ahead to what's next. We'll mind them that we lost, enjoy them that we gained, and be thankful for them that we still hae. We'll raise a glass to success and cut our losses as we change out calendars and diaries, mak our plans and resolutions, try to be better. The year fresh and new to come, a brand new lap of the sun. Tak a grip o' it, and mak the best o' it. And when you tak a cup of kindness for auld lang syne, mind and fill it up again for the days to come.
Brilliant.
So, yeah, in terms of like translating that again, it's just a kind of typical New Year optimism, just written in Shetland, but kind of, and I guess I'd incorporate all lang syne into it too because why not? But yeah, just I think I've actually just realised the date on that was it was 2022 that I wrote that poem. I guess it was on the back of like all the lockdowns and us all kind of starting to come out of that and kind of being a bit more optimistic. And that because I'd had kind of that same optimism when it all kind of first kicked off. That it's not going to last long, and then what was that, about a year and a half,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so much changed. Like I mean, it's so hard to believe that it's like nearly 6 years for all that kicked off. I can't get my head around that. It's
Mhm.
just just wild to me. Just
Mm.
can't get my head around it at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so but and then I was trying to think. I've got a couple more here that I'm trying to decide on, but one that I thought you might get a laugh out of because I know one of the things with New Year's resolutions is that folk always try and say they'll like go and do more exercise or stay fitter or go to the gym or improve on their well-being, and I think that's a big thing for you, Nicole.
Mm.
And anyway, this poem is called Spaggy, and Spaggy is one of actually we actually got three different words for this particular phenomenon. Spaggy refers to the muscular pain that you get after you've exerted yourself physically. It's not even just like exercise. Like you get folk back in the days when folk were cutting peats to live on that, like,
Mm.
you'd get them like carrying big bags of peat, or even cutting the peats, you'd physically exert yourself and you get spaggy, or I guess if you were out with your sheep, you'd get spaggy or something like that. But the other two words that are quite common used are crex and hanspur, but spaggy's the most common one. That's always the one that I used and still do use growing up. And I've never found an English equivalent of that word, and neither's any other Shetland I've ever met. Like, you can't think it's you would just call it like post exercise pain, which
Mhm,
but
mhm.
spaghetti is a
DOMS.
nice kind of concise term.
Hmm.
But yeah,
There's
so anyway,
DOMS. DOMS,
sorry, yeah,
DOMS, which is delayed onset muscle soreness. So that's the
yeah,
acronym, DOMS. Um, but yeah, there's not one specific word. But that
yeah,
actually that sounds great that there's actually
yeah,
a word in Shetland for
yeah, spaghetti. I love that word.
go for
But
it.
I wrote a poem about it, but this one's for 2023. So but I thought it was appropriate. So many folk kind of put fitness down as their New Year goal. So
Mhm.
okay. Yin's me no lang out the pool after making 2 kilometres in an hour 20. When I'm in the water, I feel just fine, but when I went out, I'm sore all hour. Me legs feels waker as a baby lamb's, me ankles are bursting and complaining, me arms and shoulders are nipping as well. When I'm showered, Clyde and one hame, I went to the couch and collapse, firing on the telly to see what's on, and hoping that it gings awa for I had to ging to work.
Very good. Brilliant. Stretching
Listen,
helps.
yeah, I was kind of thinking on this recently, and it's like I don't really recall in like PE at school being taught to kind of stretch before. Like you'd kind of do warm ups and stuff, but it was never like stretches and stuff. It was always like running on the spot and things. And actually,
Mhm.
I think stretching would have helped. I try and stretch like kind of just after I've been in the pool, and that does help sometimes. Because the thing is with swimming as well is that because you're like not putting any weight on anything because you're just trying to go through the water.
Mm.
I don't sometimes don't realize how much I've exerted myself till I get to the pool and try to stand. It's like, oh, sugar. I'm like, yeah, wobbly. Can I actually can I
Yeah,
actually stand up
it's
straight? I'm like, yeah,
whenever I've been swimming, it's like it's the legs afterwards and the
yeah.
glutes.
No, I'm the
Like,
same. I
wow.
love swimming, but
You're
it's yeah,
actually you're not supposed to stretch on cold muscles, but after sort of doing a workout or well,
yeah,
it's supposed to be warm up, dynamic stretching, not static stretching anymore.
yeah,
Then your
yeah,
workout or whatever you're doing, then
mhm,
the sort of warm down and then the stretching on a mat. So yeah.
yeah.
But anyway,
See,
any
there's no mat. There's like a bench kind of at the poolside. I kind of would just sort of sit on that and like
hmm.
do what I can. But yeah, there's I need to get a right mat to stretch on. But so yeah,
There's good ones that you can get that are really thick because I can't kneel on thin mats because my knees get sore.
yeah,
You can get the good thick ones that are better for your knees.
that's tempting actually. Yeah, to uh, yeah. But yeah, I'm sorry. I had oh here it is. So I do have another one
Hmm.
that I thought was relevant because I was going to go and swim in the sea on New Year's Day and then woke up to snow and went, nah. It's like I've always kind of wanted to, but it's like open water terrifies me
Yeah.
because there's things in there that might eat me, and it's also very cold.
Yes.
Last year I finally bit the bullet and bought a wetsuit. Now it's still cold, but like bearably cold. Like if you spend enough time in the water with the wetsuit on, then like eventually it kind of it's sort of like the neoprene kind of just has a kind of a warming effect after a while, and it's like I can bear. Just couldn't do it with just a swimsuit on. I know I'm like people like my mom do that because she learned swimming in the sea, and I'm like, how do you do that? Like
Mm.
I can't even like paddle in the sea because it's too
Yeah.
cold. But no, I got the wetsuit, and I was all set to like drive down there because I've just also become a car owner for the first time last month, and I was gonna drive down to the beach, get my wetsuit on, go for a duke, and then come out again. And woke up, and it was like that was when all the snow here in Aberdeen was starting. I was like, no. So I just went back to bed, and I think I'm going to try and get a swimming. I'm going to get my boyfriend to come with me so he can like kind of keep an eye on me while I'm swimming. But
Yeah. Don't get
once the
worried.
snow clears, I am going to go back. I'm going to go and try and go for my beach swim, but not right now when it's still quite deep. But
Mm.
this is one. It got published in a magazine called Seaborn, which didn't last long. Sadly, there's only 3 issues, and I was in the last two. But this I just had this swimming in the sea, and it's a couple of years for I wrote this, but it seemed to go doing quite well, and I'm quite glad about that. So
Oh, okay. Go
yeah.
for it.
Even with a wetsuit on, it takes me a minute to steal me cell and slip in. A cold grip takes me, hides me prisoner as I tried the water, me arms and legs moving as fast as they can despite resisting. It's certainly invigorating as was promised to me. The freshness of the air nipping me face, the taste of the sarty spray strangling me mouth, me body chilled and yet renewed.
Nice one. Yes. Encapsulated that very well. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of when I've done I did sea swims. I've not done a sea swim since summertime, but I kind of see why folk like it so much because it is kind of invigorating. I kind it's not like a cure all, but I kind of see why folk enjoy doing it, and I've got a certain portion of the beach in Aberdeen that I kind of try and stay close to. They've got those grounds at the big fences kind of at the shore, and I try and go when the tide's at a certain level, and it's like where I can kind of see the tip of them. I try not to stay too far from them because I'd be scared I got caught in riptide. Because
Mm.
and
Yeah.
there's also like there's plenty of folk around too, so I would like to think if I got caught up that somebody would spot me, but it's like
Yeah.
you
It's
never
not good
know.
to go on your own. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
You
it's
do
like
advise against it. Yeah. Especially in,
yeah,
well, sea, sort of inland water like lochs or
yeah.
reservoirs or whatever, So, yeah.
Well, there's a lock up. So I like to go to Munyakvore for retreats, and I went last summer. I tend to go in summer now because it's just easier to do. I've got a term time contract at my work, so I can take summertime off if I want to, or take part summertime off if I want to. And
Mm.
so I was up there in June, and part of the reason I got the wetsuit was because I wanted to go for swimming. Is it Loch Late or something it's called? It's just about 5-10 minutes drive away for the centre, and it's quite common in the summer, certainly for folk to go there for a swim. And last time I went, it was just me and one other person, but this time there ended up being 5 of us, including me. And like I
Mm.
said, I bought my wetsuit, and I was like, I'm not going somewhere with just a costume. I think they're all dead brave in their costumes, and there's me with my wetsuit on and everything. But I was just like, yeah, I wouldn't swim in a costume again because I'm too cold. But yeah, that was also quite. I mean, that was a loch swim rather than the sea swim. But yeah, I was quite glad of the company, and it was a lovely day for it too. We got really lucky. The weather was beautiful. But
Mm.
that was a really nice experience. But yeah, I'd like to try and find somebody to go and kind of buddy up with for swimming because I can always get like I said, I can always get a man to come with me and watch, but he wouldn't join me in the water. He's not keen to be in, and I understand that. But it'd be nice if I get somebody else to come in the water with me. So
Well, it's getting more popular now. There are more groups around the country.
definitely, I'll need to see if I can find the one here and see if it fits in around like working and stuff like that, and I could take a bit of time off and go and join them.
Hmm.
And I know that the open air swimming pool in Stonehaven started doing cold water swims last winter because they had that. I think again, same with sea swimming was going quite popular, but of course the weather's rough, then you're not going to want to go in the sea. But
Hmm.
if it was a rough day, then if they've had the pool open, you could just book that and go in there. It's much safer as well 'cause it's got lifeguards on. There's plenty of folk round, and that was really popular. But the trouble is that I work Saturdays. It's usually on a Saturday, so like, even if they held them on Sundays, I could go to those. But I'm determined I'm going to try and go to one of the cold water swims sometime in the winter. Though I think they might be running more in the next couple of months, hopefully. And if I can get to one, I definitely will. But
Yeah,
yeah.
go for it. Right. So, let's see. I'm just looking at the script, Hannah. I need it to keep me right. Otherwise, I will just not
No,
be.
that's understandable. I totally agree.
I've got it taped up on the unit behind my laptop.
Yeah.
Right. So, where can we hear you recite?
So a lot of my poems these days are published. I've got an account on Coffee, like one of those kind of it's similar to Patreon, but you don't have to subscribe. You can just make a one. You can subscribe if you want to, but it's completely optional. It's just one-off payments. I also don't paywall the content on it, so you can just read it for free if you want. If folk want to kind of chuck a little couple of quid my way, then they can. But it's coffee. That's ko-fi.com/selkie song. SELKIESONG. That's my username on there. But yeah, you'd find like most. I tend to put a lot of my poems up there because it means that folk can read them more freely. And again, if they fancy chucking me a little quid for them, that's fine. But it's always completely optional because, like I say, you can read it without needing to do that. Um, I've also, like I say, had work recently published in the Fierce Salvage anthology. That came out last year. It's published by, well, 404 Inc. are kind of closing later this year, but I think they have done another
Oh,
print run. And you can buy it from their website and also from wherever else you would buy your books from. Let me think where else. I've I've got something upcoming this year, but there's not been much made public about the details, so I can't really go into detail about it. But
ooh,
my social media accounts, I'm on Instagram at Tooriekep. That's TOORIEKEP. That's Shetland term for woolly hat. Well, it's also a Doric term for woolly hat. That comes from Aberdeen too.
oh,
And I'm on Blue Sky on the same handle, so it's tooriekep.bsky.social.
okay.
I no longer use Twitter. My account's active, but it's just there's like a placeholder pretty much, so I'm not going to bother giving you that handle.
Mm.
If you search my name, Hannah Nicholson, on Facebook, you should find me. I think you can just follow me. I think that's the only three socials I'm really using these days because
Mm.
I deleted threads and I can't think any others that I'm on. I've also got a link tree, so that's LINKR, no, sorry, linktr.ee/2dcap, same way. And that'll pull up not just my social sites, but all like my recent publications. And I've occasionally done like articles as well for sites like Shetland News. So it's any kind of publications I've had of that nature are there. If I've got anything that's purchasable, you can buy those from the various links I've got there. Um, that's really it for now. I think that's all I can think of.
Right, okay, brilliant. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Let's just get rid of that. Okay, something just flashed up on my screen that I had to take off.
that's okay.
Um, Thank you very much.
You have me.
I'd actually like to chat with you more because I've been loving your poetry and just loving your chat, but I've got the
Thanks.
40-minute free Zoom, so not much
Yeah,
time. Um,
understandable.
I did think about getting the paid Zoom that you can have unlimited amount of time on,
Yeah,
on meetings and stuff like that, but money,
yeah.
it's
I know
it's
the way. I know the way.
everybody's issue at the moment. So yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
But yeah, I'd love to chat with you again. So I mean, I'm sure there'll be another opportunity at some point if you're up
Yeah, that would be
for it.
awesome. Hmm.
And right, okay. So what I'll do is I will upload all this, and it took me an hour and a half to do Mark Lewis's. It took an hour
All
and
right.
a half
Okay.
to upload
Oh, okay.
4K video. So I'm going to
Oh
try
bugger.
something else and see how that goes. But
Okay.
thank you so much, and you're very welcome to come back. And
I'd love to be back. Yeah,
yeah, check Hannah out, folks.
I'd love that. Thank you.
And I will see you in a couple of minutes after I press stop record. Not even a couple of minutes, like seconds away. Bye, folks. Thank you.
Cheerio. Thanks again.